Yo, what's up, Facebook Live? Hey, I said I would do this at 4 o'clock, and let's see, I thought, why not come on, try this Facebook Live thing out. I'm not really that used to it, but I figured I'd give it a shot here. Um, and let's see, I had a couple different things that I wanted to talk with everybody about. So, hoping some people will show up and we can all talk about what's going on multifamily wise, self storage wise, also about multifamily masters and everything. And I just wanted to do some Facebook Lives. I figure Friday afternoon is kind of a good time. People are kind of relaxing, kind of ready for the weekend, kind of done with work a little bit. And yeah, so I thought I'd come on live here and see how everybody's doing. So let me know if you're here. If you're here and you're in, let me know who you are, where you're at. If you can type in something. I'm trying to I'm still learning about this Facebook Live thing, so it's kind of yeah, that's not what I wanted. Continue. There we go. Okay. Um, cool. So let's see. I thought I'd go into a Facebook Live really to talk mostly about, hey, like, what are we doing? What's going on with multifamily masters? What's going on with, like investing? I thought it's a good thing to know because, too, I got a deal under contract recently, self-storage deal. You may have seen my other Facebook Lives about it. And it's kind of nice to go through the journey with somebody, right? So I figure for those of you who may not have a deal or may not have a deal yet under contract and haven't yet got one under contract, it's kind of like, hey, what happens when the deal's under contract and what do you do? Like, what are the things that you do? So I thought I'd kind of go over some of the things that we've been doing this week, me and my team. And if you got any questions about it, feel free to let me know. And I know a few of you are here, so let me know who's here because I can't really see, at least the way that I have it set up. I'm not a super big Facebook Live person, but let me know who you are, that you're here. Put a comment in there and everything. So that'd be cool. But let's see. So just kind of walking through what's been going on with at least the deal that I'm in. And so I'm in a deal. I'm in a self-storage deal right now. It's in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and so we got it under contract a few weeks ago. I was out there visiting the property about a week ago, and looking at it, doing the due diligence while we were out there. So this week we have a lot of follow-up to it. So what's been going on this week with it? And one thing that's different with self-storage is the financing side. So the financing can be very different than multifamily, and we're learning a lot of that. So we had talked with a couple different multifamily brokers and people that were that I had relationships with, and they were very interested in helping us do self-storage. But truthfully, once we got the deal under contract and then we started putting it in front of them, all of a sudden they kind of fell off, and I was like, I guess maybe they're not as interested as I thought they were. And then so I made some more contacts and I found some people that were specifically in self-storage. Hey, Jefferson, what's up? What's up, buddy? Hey, appreciate it. How you doing, man? Thanks for tuning in here. So I was just talking about, the journey of kind of like what's been going on and what's sort of what's been going on with the contract that I'm under, the contract that I have. And so that way that people can kind of follow through or follow with me. And so this deal, these lenders, the multifamily lenders kind of started to fall off, and they just started to say, hey, they just didn't have any more contact. I'd write them back and they didn't have any more contact with me. So I figured, okay, they're not interested. And now I need to go find other lenders who are interested in self-storage. So I did found one that I thought was going to be great. And if you don't know, self-storage can qualify for an SBA loan, so Small Business Administration loan. And hey, what's it? David Leggett, Lisa Marie. Hey, how you guys doing? Appreciate it. Thanks for showing up and everything. Let me know also if you guys got questions. I'm just going to kind of ramble along, but feel free to if you got any questions, type them in there. And so in terms of SBA storage, so self-storage can qualify for an SBA loan, right? And SBA loan, it's a different type of lending, right? So it's a whole new thing, right? So an SBA loan will, the difference of it is that it can qualify for just 10% down. So just 10% down. You can think about that, right? You only need 10% down on an SBA loan, right? Now the property has to qualify and things like that. It also, in terms of an SBA loan, it is you do have, it's recourse. So you got to understand that it is recourse. So it's not a non-recourse loan. So you do have to, you do have to be prepared for recourse. I just want to say, hey, Marco, I'm going to wave to a couple people here. Bernadette, thank you for showing up. Renee, Mark, yeah, thanks for showing up. So 10% down, recourse, full recourse, right? 25-year amortization, and there's no balloon on these, right? And there's no balloon. So you don't have to have a 10-year term or a 5-year term or a 7-year term. There's no interest only. Okay, so that's not part of it. So this is just kind of giving you some of the distinctions. But you don't have a term, so it just goes full 25 years, right? You do have a reset though, depending on how many years, like a 7-year reset of your interest rate. So every 7 years your interest rate will reset, or every 5 years your interest rate is going to reset. Okay, and then another part that's different is the prepayment penalties. So in the SBA loan, the prepayment penalties are 5% your first year, 3% your second year, and then 1% your third year. Now, I don't know about you guys, but if you guys have ever looked at some of the prepayment penalties that you have in multifamily, they can be hefty, right? I mean, if you take a 10-year loan on a Fannie Mae and you're taking yield maintenance, if you're in year 2 or year 3 and you have the buyer who wants to buy your property and you still have 7 more years, those prepayment penalties are big. I mean, big. So, talk to any syndicator about those. Those are huge. So to have only a 3-year prepayment penalty with step down of 5%, 3%, and then 1% is huge. I mean, that's awesome. So, they also will give like working capital. So they were kind of offering like $50,000 in working capital as well. So I thought that was kind of cool. And they said, and I asked them, some of the things that you'll know in multifamily is that, like, okay, so I get some working capital from the lender, but how do I access that? Right? That's another question that you got to ask. How do I access that? Do I have to fix the thing first? You have to send out an inspector, and then after that, then you decide to disperse some of it or all of it to me. What do you do at that point? In terms of the SBA, at least from what I was told, I don't have an SBA loan, but at least from what I was told, you don't have that. It's just they wire that funds to your bank. You do with whatever you want with that lending. I'm going to shut my blinds here. It's kind of getting in my face. Okay, so cool. We got some questions here. Let's see. Lisa, you asked about the interest rate of the loan. So right now they said it was about 4.75 to about 5.25, depending on how much they like the deal, how much they like us, things like that. So a little bit higher in terms of the actual interest rate, than say like you might get on a multifamily that you might get, 4 or even lower, I guess now. So depends on that. So let's see, other question that you had, Lisa. Do they require reserves on the self-storage loan? So no, they didn't have any upfront, they didn't have anything set in stone of like reserves that are required. Now we had reserves anyway, and we showed what reserves we have. But they didn't have any specifics in terms of reserves. This is all being said as in, this is what the SBA and the lenders were telling me, because I think it was, what's today, Friday? So Wednesday, I talked to the SBA lender, and they actually said, we can't do it. We're decided we're not going to do it. Okay. And you probably have to find a different lender. So the reasons why they said, hey, we're not going to fund this is that, first of all, we're out of state. So I told them up front, hey, our partnership, we're all out of state. Nobody lives in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. But we do have some boots on the ground in New Orleans, which is less than 100 miles away. So they were like, well, yeah, that's, it's kind of like, okay, maybe. But then they said, really, I guess part of the issue is that this is a turnaround property. This is a property that has a lot of value add to it, right? It's not just a stable property that's running well and you're just going to buy it and you're just going to do the exact same thing that the last people did to it. It's a property that it has some distress to it and needs some work. And we have a plan in place of what we're going to do. And we feel that we can realize that plan within, a fairly short period of time. I don't know, a couple of years. And then we should be able to get this place stabilized. Well, they're like, even though you guys have a multifamily experience and that you guys have done this in multifamily, you guys don't have any self-storage experience. And we knew that. We tell them this is our first deal. They said, because of that, because you're out of state, we're not going to fund you guys. And I was like, oh, geez, what a bummer. And but I was like, okay, I mean, this is all part of the game, is that, hey, you just got to keep going. You got to keep going. You just got to keep finding somebody. So they were able to at least give us a recommendation for somebody else. So we're kind of working with a couple other people right now to see if we can get a conventional loan. So not an SBA loan, but a conventional bank loan. So a local bank loan, right? Is what we're looking for. Now, Lisa, you did ask a good question here about do they require reserves or no, the net worth and liquidity requirements. In terms of SBA, and I didn't know this, and I guess this would never came up, but like there is a cap on your net worth, and it happened to be, a cap on your liquidity. So, and unfortunately, we were above that cap on our liquidity. We had too much liquid. And so they were like, you have too much that you don't qualify for an SBA loan. So this is going to disqualify you guys automatically. And I was like, what? I was like, we have too much money? I was like, that's what they're telling me, is we have too much money? And they're like, yeah, truthfully, you don't qualify for getting this type of loan from the SBA. Now you could get a bigger loan and you would qualify, but because this property isn't that big, it's not going to, they just come, it's not going to work. And I was like, geez, that's weird. We have too much money still. Yeah, that was kind of weird. So, hey, Maher, hey, good to see you, buddy. Nicholas, see you here. Sid, thanks for showing up and everything. So, Maher, you asked, let me see, let me roll back here. Wait, so Jack asked, thoughts about bringing in another partner that has the experience? Again, I don't know. Our partnership is full, and I truthfully don't feel like we need a partner that has the experience that in order to qualify for this SBA loan. Plus, again, because we're out of state and things like that, and it, just like I said, because of the liquidity issue, that we had too much liquidity, then they said no. And, I was just like, that's ridiculous, but all right. I mean, so I don't think we're going to go with that. So we can't really go with them. Mahara, you asked the seller if they would carry, I thought about that too. I was asking the seller if they'll carry this. It's possible. We don't want to approach that. We don't want to approach that just yet, because we're not at the end of it, right? This is just the very beginning, where we've gone through a couple early stages of, bumps and bruises with some of the lenders, right? So we've got other mortgage brokers out there working with us and trying to, find us a lending situation. Now, again, if we had to, we could truthfully probably just even close with like hard money or like a bridge loan type of thing. It's not a big loan, right? Property is, the purchase price is $675,000. So it's, the loan amount is like $500, right? So we could probably just get a bridge lender pretty quickly, and then, do what we need to do within the 3 years, exit out of the bridge loan if we need to. So, there's other possibilities. I just haven't gone down that route to ask the seller if he's going to carry. Probably the reason why is because there's another deal that he has that is off market. Well, not off market. He has another property. He's not really interested in selling it. When we met him, after that, now he's interested in selling, and he would probably give us the first crack at it. So I don't really want to ruffle his feathers in terms of, giving up another opportunity here. So that hopefully that answers your question. Hello, Jeremiah. Thanks for showing up. So yeah, Lisa, crazy, huh? I don't know, crazy about the lending. So just kind of walking, I wanted to make sure I'm kind of walking everybody through the process. Now, I don't mean to do it just specifically for self-storage, but if you get a deal under contract, you're always going to, no matter if it's multifamily, single family, storage, whatever it is, you're going to go through these processes of like, hey, there's going to be bumps in the road, right? And you can't just, crumble and say the deal's done, forget it, I can't do it, right? You just got to, okay, all right, that lender said no. All right, I mean, it would have been nice if they said yes, and I thought they were going to say yes, but they said no. Who else do you know? And they gave us some good contacts, and we're reaching out to those people, and we'll find people to do it. And, if we just have to keep digging and finding the right lender to do this and, help us out in this situation. So not too worried, but I do want to emphasize that point that it's just, it's just a bump in the road, right? You want to get the deal done, or do you want to cry about that the lender didn't fund you, right? It's like, no big deal, right? So, let's see, I think that's the latest. I mean, I came on here a little bit late because honestly, I was looking at another deal. I was like, man, I'm already starting to look at other deals and everything. But Let me see, where else are we at? So, we've talked to a number of different people, getting our vendors kind of lined up. So in storage, you got to get like your vendors for your property management, you got your property management, you got to get your software lined up. You got to get your, software, your website, other things that are super important, your website up. We have vendors that we're sourcing for a couple of like plumbing, electrical issues. So there isn't a ton of like major issues, right? Storage, most of the storage or the storage we're buying doesn't have any like plumbing, right? There's only one bathroom there, so it's not like you have a lot of plumbing. But it does have some drainage issues. And so we want to talk to somebody about, fixing the drain. And I mean, it's really simple. It's not very big at all. And then there's some electrical things like the grounding wire isn't grounded right and things like that. So there's no electricity running through the property, running through the units themselves. So you don't have those expenses there either as well. So, Maher, you asked about, hey, buying it in cash. Truthfully, that's a possibility too as well, right? We potentially, we could just buy it in cash and then, refinance it that way. So there's all different types of possibilities, right? We're just kind of running down, trying to keep it in alignment of what we originally had planned as our strategy. But that is something we could do if we feel like that's what we need to do. Yeah, we're right. Jefferson, you're right. Just got to keep pushing forward. Ruben, thanks for joining in and everything. So yeah, that's what we're doing right now. And I would tell you that I've set up on Tuesday. So I have a Zoom call with the rest of the team, the rest of the ownership group that's all involved. Really, it's my friends and family. So it's a bunch of friends and family that are involved in this, a small group, under 10 people. And one thing I'm super pumped about is that my nieces and nephews, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but my nieces and nephews are interested. So I want to start them on the path of like owning real estate, right? This is like an awesome opportunity for them to get involved and, be out there, be an owner, look at this property, visit it with us, learn how to do this, and then think about, continuing on and growing in real estate. They're sort of in their, I don't know, anywhere from 24 to 28, 22 to 28 years old. So 3 of them, but I'm super excited that they can join, hoping that this kind of sparks their interest and that they'll start to be, really excited about being real estate owners. And it's a great opportunity. I told them like, hey, if you guys don't get involved, there's a lot of people that will take your place, truthfully. I mean, there's a lot of people that want to say that they're real estate owners and they have this property and that they visit this property and they got self-storage and so it's a great opportunity for them. But yeah, I mean, we're kind of lining up a lot of different things. Let me see, Bernadette, what'd you say? You're looking at self-storage. Bernadette, you're looking at self-storage in Alabama right now. So this is super helpful. I appreciate it. Thank you. I hope it helps. I hope it helps you, Bernadette. If you do have any questions, feel free to always let me know too as well. So, Anthony, hello. Let me see. So what I'm doing on Tuesday is I said, hey, I'm going to go on a Zoom call. What we're going to do is the people that were out at the property that saw the property, we're going to kind of give a quick like what did we see? What were our thoughts of the property, right? So this is just internal. I'm just telling you guys that what we're doing so that, when you get a property, you can think about doing this too. It's an internal Zoom call, just kind of what the other owners and just saying, hey, this is what we saw. This is what we liked. This is what we didn't like. This is who we met. This is what they said. This is what we saw. This is the pictures we have, right? And so just a quick Zoom call with everybody so that everybody's on the same page. And I like to make sure that everybody, learns, right? This is an opportunity for people to learn and be involved, right? And then we'll get into sort of what we are doing right now, what vendors we're talking to, what are our decisions that we need to make, how's the lending coming, right? We'll get in sort of an update there, and then we'll talk about like, okay, well, what we need from you now, like you as the rest of the group, what we need you to do. There's things that we need you to do, right? You're going to need to wire the money. You're going to need to figure out your entity that is going to be investing. Is that going to be you personally, or is that going to be an LLC that you need to create? When we're going to need the money by, all these kind of things. When we're going to visit, are we going to visit the property again? When are we going to make certain decisions? Do you want to come with us when we go again, right? These are all just kind of like, a quick Zoom call just to get everybody on the same page, right? So that's what we're doing. Hey, Robert, my buddy Robert here, he was out there with us, right? And so you can ask Robert Benenate what he thought about the property as well, right? Bernadette, I appreciate that. I'm glad that my nieces and nephews get a chance to be a part of this as well. So let's see, where was I? And so I'm just going to try to keep doing Facebook Lives here and there about just kind of keep everybody informed about just the whole process, right? Because there's going to be ups and downs, right? There's going to be great things that are happening, and then there's going to be, oh crap, there's a big thing that blew up, and you just got to anticipate these and problem solve, right? That's a big part of this whole real estate thing, is that you got to be able to solve the problems, right? They're going to come up no matter what. Hey Mark, thanks for joining. So if you have any questions about self-storage, or just kind of like the process of getting a deal and getting it to this point where it's under contract, you visited, we're doing the due diligence, we're talking with the title company, we're working on our entity. So that's another thing we did this week, is we are contacting a lawyer not in Baton Rouge, but in Louisiana, to draft up our operating agreement, right? So you're going to need to do that if you get a deal under contract. Very quickly, everybody starts to ask, okay, who's buying this? Like, what's the entity that's buying this? And you need to get that created. It needs to be fairly fast. So we're working with a lawyer right now who's going to draft up our operating agreement. He has experience in real estate. He also has experience in businesses that, they break up the ownership percentages in sort of these sort of different ways, right? So he has experience with that. And so that's what we're doing. And let's see. So if you have questions about, just kind of real estate or that process of getting something under contract and where we are at right now, feel free to let me know. Just going to want to update people also on Multifamily Masters, right? So Multifamily Masters, which you guys are all part of, since this is in the group Multifamily Masters here, right? We have a couple things coming up in Monday, this coming Monday, gotta see my calendar here, the 26th. Okay, the 26th is our bingo night. So definitely join. It's going to be just, it's just bingo, right? I mean, everyone knows how to play bingo, right? We're going to have we're going to have a bunch of prizes. We're giving away a mastermind membership, right? So that's like, hey, that's our grand prize. We're giving away swag. We're giving away discounts at hotels. We're giving away, I think Disrupt Equity is donating one of their Investor Academy, one of their Investor Academy. Sorry, hold on a sec. Is giving away one of their Investor Academy courses. I think Kyle and Gary are giving away one of their VIP memberships to their recent asset management seminar that they did. And so we're giving away great prizes for that. So join us on bingo, right? It should be fun. It should be just a good time playing bingo with each other online, right? So that'll be this Monday. So register for that. You can get different bingo cards for doing different things. In December, we are putting on together what we're calling is MFM Live. MFM Express. Okay, so that's an event that we're starting right now. So we're just kind of letting everybody know what it is. But just anticipate in December, we're having an event that is pretty much a community-wide event, kind of an end-of-the-year wrap-up. It'll be very different than anything we've done before, but we're super excited about it, and we want you all to join. It's going to be called MFM Express. It will be on a Monday, and we'll let you know more details when we have about that. But it's basically, we're going to draw in people from all different types of topics, and we're going to bring them all together for MFM Express. Okay. So, hey Elliot, thanks for joining. So if you guys have any questions about MFM and just kind of the update of what's going on with Multifamily Masters, feel free to let me know. We definitely appreciate everybody's attendance, and everybody usually has a great time at our events, and we're appreciative of what you guys do and everything that, being part of this community. So let's see. I know I talked about real estate. I talked about MFM. Is there anything else that you guys would like to talk about? Anything that's come up as far as either real estate related or Multifamily Masters related, COVID related, anything else like that? If not, I will say thank you for joining. I'm going to try to do this a little bit more often. I don't know if I can come up with some funny kind of cool name. Well, maybe we'll make it something on a Friday Fun Day or whatever it is. But I appreciate you guys all joining. Take care. If you do have any questions, you can reach out to me directly. I will talk to you soon. Thanks, everybody. Take care.